Welcome to Seed to Life. I hope you're doing well and busy gardening. Winter is approaching soon and you must be having a lot of greens and browns from your garden. So today in this video, let's see a no-nonsense method of making very basic, easy and most importantly cheap composter for your garden. I just made one for my vegetable garden and didn't spend even $12 to make a 27-gallon composter. Not bad, huh? And it took me hardly 10 to 15 minutes to make one. Of course, that is because I have a rotary instrument to drill holes, but if you don't have it, then also we have a plan to work around and do it without the drill machine. So why wait? Let's begin. The materials you need are a plastic storage bin of any size as per your convenience, but preferably more than a foot at least, that allows you to make more compost and mix it easily. And a drill machine to make holes. If you don't have a drill machine, then you can use some sharp metallic thing to heat and make holes in the plastic bin. These are the only materials needed to make the bin. Other than this, you might need some protective gear like safety gloves and safety glasses to protect yourself if you're using a drill machine. The storage bin that I have is very sturdy and the lid also fits tightly. In winter, rodents sometimes chew off these beans to get into them since they're outside. It has happened with me once, so this tight lid is going to help me a lot. Now let's turn the bin upside down and make some holes at the bottom of the bin. I am going to drill the holes all around the bin, but the bottom ones are bigger so that if there is any excess water, it drains out easily. I am making quarter to half inch holes. The spacing is about 6 to 8 inches. The spacing doesn't have to be accurate. Now coming on to the sides, on the sides I am making more holes, but they are very small. I make smaller holes on the sides because it allows air circulation but also prevents bigger animals from getting inside the composter. So one of my compost bin is broken from side and it has enough space so that Anole lizard can get inside, and that Anole lizard looks very healthy. I'm pretty sure it is feeding on to something, like maybe it is eating my earthworms, and I don't want that to happen. So I really want a good tightly sealed container. Now I'm done making perforations on all the sides of the bin, and we are going to do the same thing to the lid now. The way we did it on the sides, we are going to do the same sized holes on the top of the lid so that it allows proper air circulation and the compost doesn't smell bad. It doesn't rot, and it smells nice in fact when the compost is getting ready. So this is the reason we need so many holes all over the bin, and it is still protected. And we are done with our compost bin, and now let's inaugurate it. I have collected some kitchen scraps and eggshells, dry leaves, mulch, shredded brown paper, ash from the burnt grass and weeds, fruit peels, so for over these couple of weeks. And now I'm going to add all these things to my compost bin. So I'm going to start with a paper layer at the bottom of the bin. So this is even though the paper is white, it is actually a browns in the compost, and I'm going to put some layers at the bottom first. You can use instead of this white paper, you can use any type of paper. That means you can use newspaper or a thin cardboard, but the main purpose of the holes is to drain out the excess water, so we have to make sure that the cardboard is not very thick. The next layer we are going to add is browns again. It is a shredded brown milk bags that we had, and I always shred them and use them in my compost. By shredding, it becomes very easy to mix them, and the composting also happens fast. And the next layer is I'm putting some fruit peels that I had and some dried leaves. I had saved them so for another reason, but I'm going to use them in the compost now. And so you don't have to add the stuff in a particular order. You can just add them, because ultimately you're going to mix it, and that is how we are going to make the compost. So I'm going to crush these leaves to make fine powder, because it is very easy. When they are dry, you can easily crush them and make fine powder from them. And even the vegetables or the greens that we use, they should be finely shredded, and that way we can get the compost faster. But I'm being lazy and I just decided to throw some pieces directly into the compost. So it is not a requirement, but it is better if you finely shred them or cut them in small pieces. Next, I'm going to add some eggshells. Eggshells again are greens, and eggshells and the coffee grounds. Earthworms love them. So you can add both of these things. Like, you can either directly crush them into the pile, or you can add some. You can grind them in fine powder and add that powder, and that way it will be decomposted faster. But I'm just going to add them as they are. I have some more brown paper that I'm going to add to this bin. And next, kitchen scraps that I'm adding to this pile. And you can see, as I'm adding greens, there are more greens now. And it is very important to have a balanced pile, because if you add more greens, then the pile becomes very stinky, and then the flies and maggots start appearing in the bin, and that is very disgusting. It can demotivate you, and trust me, you don't want to see that. I'm telling you from my personal experience. The balanced pile depends on the carbon to nitrogen ratio of the compost pile. But rather than going into some advanced statistics, I will tell you that I follow 30 to 70 green to brown ratio for my compost. That way it stays stink free. In fact, it smells fresh. Many times in spring and summer, I don't have any dry leaves or brown. Then I add a layer of mulch to balance the compost. Here are some oregano plants that I removed a few weeks back, and I let them dry in the sun, and they have turned brown now. They're completely dried, and I can use them as browns in my compost. You can keep adding stuff to this pile. Just make sure that the top layer is brown. That way you prevent the flies and unwanted pests. I forgot to add that ash from the burnt grass and weeds, so I'm going to add that too. Finally, I'm going to add some homemade compost from one of my other bins, and the microorganisms from that compost will help to break down the scraps in this new bin faster. There are many products available in the market that speed up the composting process, and you can choose any one of them if you don't have any initial starter, because that way you can speed up the process of composting and get the compost faster. I'm done preparing the basic starter pile. I've covered it with one more layer of shredded paper. Later, as I add more greens to this, I'll cover it with a layer of mulch. I will now water this pile, and also I will try to turn the pile at least once a week to encourage more oxygen reaching to the inner parts of the pile, so that it doesn't become stinky. That's it for now. The main purpose of this video is to share with you one easy way to make composter for your home garden. I will share with you how I use the garden wastes like grass clippings, weeds, to minimize the dependencies on stores for composts and soils. I also have used some even cheaper alternatives for compost bins that I would love to share with you. I hope you like this video. A big thanks to you for watching my videos and supporting my channel Seed to Life. Please click subscribe for more such videos and updates. Click the bell icon to get notified about future videos, and feel free to reach out to me through comments, Facebook, Twitter or Instagram if you have any questions. I am posting the links in the description. I would love to hear your suggestions and would like to know the news of your garden. Happy gardening. Thank you again. See you soon.